some bunnies with a bazooka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to a Tribe Called Swish. We have J Money and Kev from Ohio running a 3-man weave as always. Brought to you by Southern Edge Beverage Company. Like, subscribe, share. Don't be ahead of your whole life. Fellas, this is our Christmas. Or maybe even Black Friday. Whatever you want to call it. It's the end of the NBA trade deadline.
Ooh.
And this is where content is king. So much to talk about. So before we get into that, how y'all been? How y'all feeling?
J Money, you got it. You first, my brother.
Today is my bounce back day, so I'm good. I'm good. A lot happening in the sports world, man. I'm excited to talk about it. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
What about you, Kev?
Me too, my brother. Same here, man. The fact that you're in Wisconsin, I definitely want to hear your opinion of what's going on. In Maryland, the snow is finally starting to melt. The on-street parking is improving. I'm good to go.
All right, no doubt. So first, the biggest chip that fell or didn't fall, Giannis stays in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't know how this happened. I don't know why this happened, but it happened. As I told y'all in the group chat, like this process has gone from me loving Giannis to me being really annoyed by him. Like he is getting kind of on that Dwight Howard thing where we love the old kid friendly person, and then when the business starts to take over, we be like, you are kind of annoying. And so that's where I'm at with Giannis. Like I feel he would have left Milwaukee if he would just stood up and be like, stood on all 10, stood on his 2 and be like, I want out and get me out of here. Mm-hmm. Instead, he tried to play the politics and say, I want to finish my career in Milwaukee. No, you don't, dog. This team is not winning. You can't say you want to finish your career in Milwaukee and then say you want another championship. Those two things don't mix.
Yeah.
So with Giannis not going anywhere, J Money, I'm gonna start with you because you are in Milwaukee. You are at ground zero. Has the city burned down yet, or are they rejoicing? What's going on?
There's a lot of indifference going on. Like, there's a lot of people who they knew that Giannis wasn't going to be traded. I'll start there. They knew he wasn't going to be traded because the asking price of Giannis, like everyone plays fantasy GM when it comes to Giannis, right? Everyone was like, the haul has to match the value of Giannis, because we can't forget that like Giannis is a finals MVP. He's a finals championship winner. Like he's done amazing things for Milwaukee. The haul for asking him is too much. So everyone was like, they're probably just going to wait until the offseason to where they're just probably going to let him out of his contract and then just have him sign to another team in the offseason and maybe just, let it go. The other half of that is loyalty is a very big thing. So like the other half are like, we want Giannis to stay, but Milwaukee should have made some trades. If they're not going to if they knew prior to the trade deadline that they weren't going to get rid of Giannis, and the ownership should have made some trades around some players on the team to get more assets to attempt to look like they're trying to be better. And they did none of that. Listening to the offers was nice, but like no moves being made whatsoever, not even maybe a firing. It didn't do anything. So there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of 50-50 of what's going on in Milwaukee surrounding Giannis. A lot of people are feeling like Giannis played in their face because he's asking for a trade. Then he's not asking. He's like, I want to stay here. And then he's like, no, I want to find a new home. And then he's like sending his post on Instagram being like, that Wolf of Wall Street clip, I'm not leaving. So now
that was my tipping point. That's when I'm like, nah, I'm
yes.
J Money, I feel you, my brother. I mean, it is really cool the fact that you're like really right there. You know what I mean? And I think you summed it up well, B-More. It's kind of like that whole Dwight Howard comparison, But I feel like, man, nice guys finish last. And I think if he doesn't want the reputation, hey, that I asked to be traded. I felt like once the Damian Lillard piece got out of there, to me, that started the process. You know what I mean? And to your point, J Money, if you're not building, for the future, it's common to move this big piece and build for the future, and that's okay. So I guess I'm unsure kind of like why Giannis is kind of like pivoting. The Giannis we know is all about trying to win a championship. And if you look around, you don't have that type of championship roster. So I guess I don't get what the posturing comes from too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get to it, you know?
I agree. I think, and I would hope that Giannis saw what happened to his former teammate, Dame Lillard. Dame stayed in Portland too long.
Mm-hmm.
Dame loves Portland. Like, that is his home. He is, if you ask him, he's like, I'm from the Bay and I'm from Portland at this point. You know, he loves Portland. He didn't want to leave, but he knew they could not build there. But his loyalty let him stay too long. And then when he finally got out, he was past his prime, and then he was hurt. You would think that Giannis saw that and would hope, and we would hope that that's a cautionary tale. Because the thing is with Milwaukee is that they don't have a bright future right now. Like, if they had like draft picks, a lot of high like draft picks coming up, but they don't, because they mortgaged a lot of it to get Dame, and so they don't really have a bright future. They don't really have young talent. I mean, if Kyle Kuzma is like your shining star right now, like that ain't this deal, man. Your future is worse. So
it is. I'm with you on that, brother. It's tough. It's just really murky. I guess I don't really know how they're building. I even saw at one moment in time they had Miles Turner in a potential trade out of there too, but they got they canceled that kind of like last minute. You know, I don't know. I just think that Milwaukee experiment, J Money. Come on to Cleveland. Come on to Cleveland.
Man, the minute Giannis gets traded to Cleveland, I'll become a Cleveland fan. Okay, I will officially become a Cleveland fan. But I feel like, though, like, I wonder, it's just like a thought. If teams were asking for Giannis, I wonder if like Milwaukee was like, all right, you can get Giannis, but he comes with baggage. You're gonna have to take the Nassus. You're gonna have something to do with like Costas and Alex.
Baby bro gonna come.
Yeah, like wherever he goes, you got to get a roster spot for the Nassus. So I was wondering if that's like part of the package too.
Right, could be.
I mean, like, Golden State was ready to mortgage their future. Golden State was giving them like the draft picks were like 2032. Like, it was crazy. Like, they were like, you can have Draymond, you can have everything with another piece, and all our draft picks for like the next 7 years. Have them.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know. And then I heard Minnesota made some good offers. But an interesting team that did not make an offer is the Knicks. And people thought they were going to, and they were like, no. The front office is happy with Cat. The fans are indifferent, and as we look watch, we're like, I don't know, maybe that's the person to move. Right. But I think that was probably this whole Giannis thing that I really thought the Knicks were going to at least try to make a play, but they're like, nope, we're happy with what we have. I think that's probably one of the most surprising thing about this whole Giannis situation. Also, yeah.
I don't know. Giannis is such a wild card, and I never thought I'd have to say that about Giannis, man. It's just like, dude, like, I mean, we've all been saying it for weeks, months now. Honestly, since the season started, like, make a decision, stay or go. Like, please stop playing with this franchise.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, man? And I feel like the asking price is fair. I think Minnesota offered like 3 first-round picks for Giannis, and then was it Julius Randle they offered, or somebody? It was somebody else.
It had to be just somebody. It had been Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Or go. I don't think they would offer.
No, I don't think. They want somebody that can move and not get cooked on the perimeter. But I just feel like that I would have taken that trade if I'm going to get Julius Randle. But I don't know. Giannis probably put the cuffs on the Milwaukee franchise and was like, nah, this isn't it.
But even going to the Warriors, I like, to your point, I'm assuming, I don't know the whole package, but rather be Kuminga, Draymond, picks. And then once you give up all of that, like, what do you got left? I got Steph, I got Giannis. That's even though that's great to have, I don't think that's enough. I think, as great as Giannis is, it's not like he's Kevin Durant from the perimeter. He still has to get close to the cup. I feel like you could still beat the team that has Steph and Giannis on it. It's just contingent on the roster. You know what I mean? But I'm
sorry, I want to interrupt. I completely agree with that point. Just because I want to make sure where you moved on. I completely agree. Like, Giannis to Golden State is not an instant championship, especially in this NBA. I think Giannis and Steph just lets us see Steph play competitive basketball. And I think that was the big thing. Like, yes, Steph would quote unquote compete for a championship, Wink, wink. But you know that ship has sailed. But go on, yeah.
I'm with you. And so even if they had pulled that off and maybe was still able to get Porzingis, you know, I like that. You know, it's good to the eye, man. But I think you need a lot of pieces. The West is tough, man. You gotta have a roster. You need your start lineup has to be good. The bench coming in, their 5 has to be good. You gotta have a team to get out of the West. So I just don't think had they pulled that off, maybe you're building for next year. But I don't know.
Yeah, because I think Giannis, Jimmy, Steph makes things different. You know, this year,
That's a good point.
Giannis and Steph not so much, but
Good point.
But Giannis still stay in Milwaukee. Now, how is Ja Morant still in Memphis?
I'll tell you how.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Didn't I tell y'all he was not going to get traded?
You did.
Yeah.
You called it. Like, what are we doing? They traded Triple J. What are we doing, man? I don't understand. Go ahead, Kev. Please.
I just think they lost the leverage. You know, this young man, a tremendous player, really has a good story. You know, small school, dad helped you, get there, but then you get there and it's just antics after antics, and it's just a lot. And you can understand from an organization standpoint why they would want to distance themselves sometimes from a star. You know what I mean? It's just it becomes a headache. And I just think with him, he's a little immature. You know what I mean? I say that respectfully, but I just think once you start getting a lot of bad press and notoriety from gunplay and you're still doing it, then I can understand why teams would pump the brakes on acquiring him. But from a leverage standpoint, if I know the relationship was kind of getting really rocky there as a fantasy basketball owner, I'd be lowballing them for trade offers,
Yeah, I figured that because they don't have a lot, and I feel like they did Memphis a favor by trading away Jaren Jackson Jr. And I feel like they knew, like, not in a negative way too. It's just to help his career because he's young and he's not in the spotlight like that. And him going to Utah gives him a better chance to play competitive ball and to honestly help his career. They've got a great young core over there. They're doing, they're a mediocre team that has the potential to be a really competitive team in the next few years. They got Lauri Markkanen, which is amazing, and then Keontae George, who is also just lighting it up right now. So I think they did Jaren Jackson Jr. a favor, just like the Spurs did with Derek White, where they're just like, we need to get you out of here because right now where we're going, it's not going to help your career. They're just, I think honestly, but with this whole Ja Morant situation, they might just play out his contract and just let him go. Because he's got like a year or two left with the contract now. So I'd probably play the long game too and be like, I'm gonna get the best out of Ja Morant right now, and then when it's time to renew his contract, I'm gonna say no and just let you go out to the market.
But you know what's interesting is that normally there is an organization who always believes we can save them. There's always somebody, and think that's the and I hope one day we kind of we hear the backstory of what the offers were and what happened, because there's always somebody who can save. And listen, we've seen it. You have talent and people will make exceptions. And we know Ja has talent. Yes, he doesn't have Kev's favorite talent of availability, but he has those other things. He jumps high, he scores, he does all the things you want with a guard on the floor. And there are teams that need players like him. So I hope that one day we get the story of how this didn't happen, because I am really interested to hear how bad those offers were. And I hope, because that's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that the offers were just that bad and that they just couldn't in good conscience pull it. But
and maybe when he comes back, because I think Scottie Pippen Jr. is probably a week away, so that's going to be interesting to kind of get him in the mix. But maybe from a leverage standpoint, Ja comes back, you're not going to the playoffs, but you get him healthy, you get him playing well, and then you move him in the summer. Because maybe right now, maybe to your point, maybe the offers were they got low ball so much they said no way, but maybe you try to move him in the summer, but get him healthy first.
Right. All right. So something that shocked me, I felt it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. But James Harden to the Cavs and Darius Garland to the Clippers.
I like it.
I mean, so listen, I saw this trade. I was confused. And then I was like, you know what? That solves the small guard problem. That solved the two small guards in the backcourt problem.
Yeah.
And this could be a game changer. But you know James Harden in the playoffs. And that's the thing. Cleveland doesn't need help getting to the playoffs. They need help getting through the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't know what James Harden can do because we haven't seen him do it consistently. Like, look, James Harden has had good playoff moments. And like people are really down on him in the playoffs, but he has had good playoff moments. They're just not a lot of them. But he's still playing well. I mean, he's still playing at an all-star, borderline all-star level. So it's not like his play has really, declined. So I like the trade overall. I just don't know if this is the piece that can get the Cavs at least through the first round. Kev,
J Money.
I want to kick this off.
Step back, J Money. Step back. Let me take this. Step back. The funny thing, fellas, I got in such a passionate debate with my dad, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law. I think he was kind of okay with it, right? So, the interesting thing with James, man, it's like go back to when he played with Philly. How many games did Embiid miss? I'll let you look at that, right? Through 2 seasons, the basketball season is 82 games. Joel played 72, right? Go back to his time with Brooklyn. The trio played 15 games together as a trio.
Wild. Yeah.
Right? KD eventually got hurt. Kyrie had the suspension from the COVID testing and all of that stuff. And then this stuff with the book, that was impactful. Rewind it. Go back to that Houston series, Game 7. Chris Paul got hurt. You're not going to beat a Warriors team with just James Harden. And then, his time even his time with the Clippers, it's been tumultuous. At 1 minute Kawhi's there, PG was there. It's just a lot going on. So I'm not trying to make excuses for James. However, we'll take 25 and 8. Darius Garland has continually not shown up. He's to me, he's just like Ben Simmons. You look at if you follow Brinkley on Instagram, you see Garland, all these dribble moves he's getting through. Come playoff time, that disappears. 2 seasons ago, when we played the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs, we're supposed to beat them. Donovan has a twisted ankle. What did Garland do? Went like 0 for 15, stunk it up. I am so tired of him. So I understand the knock on James Harden. I get it. But the common denominator in all those situations is that some players are good at being Robin. Some people can't be Batman. James coming to Cleveland with number 45 being present, being Donovan Mitchell, he's our guy. So in these weighing moments, he's going to be our decision maker, right? James is good at facilitating. He can pass. He can do these different things. But when he has another guy with him, then in that moment, I need you to go. It's like going back to OKC, when it was Harden, Westbrook, and him, he was still the third string, and I think he's a good talent. I just don't want him to be the guy. So I love the trade, fellas, because Garland wasn't it, and I think James Harden has a good opportunity to make it out the East with this Cavs team.
I 100% agree, 1,000% agree, and I feel like James Harden was that piece that the Cavs were missing anyway. And I think also the fact that made Darius Garland also ineffective, not just his availability, but I feel like he froze up in the playoffs. I feel like that was like his first time playing in the playoffs, and then he just kind of like evaporated. You have a team that has playoff experience. D. Mitch and James Harden. Harden's been to the conference finals 3 or 4 times with the Rockets, I think it was, and he has that experience of like how to get there and be competitive. And Donovan Mitchell too. So 2 high competitive guys. I think this takes the weight off of Donovan Mitchell to allow him to also play free as well. And James Harden, I feel like has probably been really, really healthy a lot this year. I feel like
he doesn't miss a lot of games.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be playing out very well for the Cavs. And honestly, I'm rooting for the Cavs once playoff season comes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So I think my biggest thing that I'm impressed with the Cavs with is that they didn't really have to give up anybody. It was a 1-for-1 trade. They didn't have to gut their team, and I think that to me spoke like, okay, this is a good organization. It's a good organizational decision because if they had to trade Garland and then send like Mobley, and I'm like, what are we doing? You know, and because there was rumor that they might be shopping Mobley or even Jared Allen, which I think was stupid if they would have got rid of Jared because he's one of like 3 real centers in the East. So it was like that would have been stupid to get rid of him. So, but I'm glad they didn't. Just bringing in James Harden, that's big. But this team has an uphill battle because the East is way tougher than what we thought. Like, I mean, the West is obviously the better conference, but the East, they are playing ball. I mean, we did not anticipate the Celtics being this good. We knew the Pistons were going to take a step forward, but they are really good this year. And the Knicks seem that they've kind of figured something out this last week or so. So they're right in their ship. So I mean, they've got an uphill battle, but I think this was the best move. This was probably the best move of the trade deadline. Not probably. This was the best move of the trade deadline.
And be more, consider some other things that happened. Like so our GM Kobe Altman and Mike, those 2 guys, they don't sit back. They're really working hard. We got Lonzo Ball out of there. What was he giving us? Nothing. Not a nail nutter. He had to go. And then another thing, we brought in Dennis Schroeder. So don't forget, you know, we got a good team over there. As a backup point guard, he's a good on-ball defender, has a good motor. I'm not asking him to do anything besides be a backup point guard. That's it. You can. I don't know if you can name 5 to 6 better backup point guards in the league. He's in there. I just think he's an experienced player with good experience. But I like that. That's a hidden gem too.
So I don't dislike Dennis Schroeder. He's just not a person who I would be like, that's going to be a good move. He's cool, but the other guys, that's what we want.
Right.
Well, they got Keon Ellis too, who did very well for Sacramento as well. So that they got a good backup point guard. And Keon can play 2 guard too. So I think they're I feel like they can make a run. And I think the biggest challenge is like, can you get through OKC if it comes down to it? You know what I mean? Like that's going to be tough. That's going to be the template championship team probably for the next 2 to 3 years of how to have a successful career.
And be more, you hit it on the nail too. Like, why give up Jared Allen? The season ago, it's a tough matchup trying to guard Miles Turner. He's a stretch 5. He has you way out of the paint, and he got the best of Jared Allen. But outside of that, he's still been solid, and he's traditional. So why break that up? Unless I was bringing in Giannis, I didn't want to move him either. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that.
Just a side note, the Knicks are on a 8-game win streak right now. So shout out to Mike Brown. I just
all right. So our boy Kuminga is free.
Woo!
He is free. Yo, set up the flares. Jonathan Kuminga is free, and they shipped him to Atlanta. Oh my goodness! I don't know what's this young man going to do when he ends up at the Blue Flame. So look, man, I am happy Kuminga is free. I am happy he went to Atlanta. I think it's a young team, and they're building around Jalen Johnson, so he doesn't have to be the man. He can kind of get in, kind of figure his game out, figure out where he fits. But he's talented. He didn't get any playing time to prove he's talented. So this is his time to shine. And this is and 1 or 2 things going to happen. We're going to say Steve Kerr was right or Steve Kerr was wrong. And that's big because if Steve Kerr is wrong, we are going to look at this Golden State team, this Golden State dynasty very differently. Because that means that Steve Kerr has not developed not one young person, not one talent. He hasn't really developed anybody. He got gifted the greatest shooter to ever walk the earth. And he got gifted the second greatest shooter to ever walk the earth. And he got gifted a crazy man to protect the greatest shooters on earth.
Right.
So he hasn't really developed anybody.
Well, Jordan Poole was a close third.
Jordan, I'll give him a Jordan Poole. But how long has Kerr been here though?
Kerr's been there for I want to say almost 10, 12 years, I think.
So
I'll take it.
So Wiseman was a bust. I think we can say that now. They say that he was a bust. That it could either be from development or whatever. I mean, I get it. People are trying to have like a revisionist history of like, why would you draft Wiseman? But if you remember during that time, everyone was high on Wiseman.
Yeah.
We all saw the tape. We're like, okay, once this guy really figures out basketball, he had everything you want from him. He was just young and green. We just thought he just needed time.
Yeah.
He did not figure that out with Wiseman. Didn't figure it out with Kuminga. Moses Moody is decent. You know, Jordan Poole, they really got the most out of Jordan Poole. So yeah, I feel that if Kuminga shines, we gotta kind of revisit how we look at Steve Kerr, in my opinion. But the biggest thing is Kuminga is free.
Yes. I don't know if we would look at Steve Kerr differently if things go well for Kuminga. Because for right now, and the reason I say that is decision making on the court, right? Golden State doesn't call a lot of plays. It's a lot of free flowing movement, right? When you're free flowing, you see players like a lot of them don't need the ball in their hand to like kind of be effective. Some of them do. Like Pods, I'll rant about Pods later, but you know, Pods can move the ball, he can shoot the ball, he moves around, he doesn't need too much direction. But when JK was out there, it was like he was flailing around. You could chalk it up to PT, sure. Well, let's just add that in there, right? But you still have the ability to go out there and do what you need to do. Like you had time, because when Steph was not on the court, everyone was looking at Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, that second unit. And Jonathan Kuminga, you saw his IQ just not be right where it needed to be because he didn't make all the right decisions. But when he did, you know, when they were on the fast break, Jonathan Kuminga was right there because he was right there, right place, right time. But if you put the ball in his hands to start anything going, it's not there. So hopefully in Atlanta, you know, that gets developed. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about your IQ.
I'm with you on that. You know, 3 things. We'll never see Kuminga and Trae Young. Would have been nice to kind of see how that looked, right?
Yeah.
Second thing, it's like when you said it before, I think you kind of just when you reference them and like their 10 years or that time span, I'm like, Draymond is linked to the Jordan Poole incident. He's linked to the Kevin Durant incident. And it's kind of like, you know, that those 2 things change the landscape to an extent, right? But he got 4 rings as well, though. So it's tough. I think sometimes from a management standpoint, you have to know have the heartbeat of the team. And maybe in hindsight, you should have got Draymond out of there. You know, maybe not, maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. You know, but it just got me to thinking. And then I think about lastly Draymond's comments prior to the trade deadline. I felt like, you know, he felt like he was on his way out. He was like, if it ends, we had a good time, and like. I thought he was feeling the heat a little bit, you know, but it's just something when you think about Draymond Green, the Jordan Poole, the Kevin Durant, but yet they still got it done and still won. But I just like that Golden State team could have reigned even longer if Draymond wasn't Draymond.
You know what? You made me just think of something because I didn't really think about it, but you're right. And they got 4. But they possibly could have got 6.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
They possibly could have got because
I know
there was nothing to say if Draymond was just a regular human being that KD wouldn't have signed for another 2 years. Right. Or the fact that they wouldn't have had to trade Jordan Poole and they could have really run it back and see what that team could have done.
Yeah.
They really could have gotten, it's realistic they could have gotten 6 with that squad. It really, you know.
Yeah,
it's
they had everything, man.
Yeah, I think that's just something that I think as a management and ownership is like, okay, how long can we ride with the crazy before it hurts us? And no team has figured that out. Like the Bulls didn't really figure that out until it was too late with Rodman. Same thing with the Spurs. I mean, all these personalities, they just stay a little too long and they cost teams like their window because it's almost like people are like, I don't want to play with Draymond. Why would I want to do that? Like, I want to play with Steph, but I don't want to play with Draymond. You know?
Right. I feel
Yeah,
you.
I agree. They had the potential to win a lot more. I think I mean, it really, 6 is nice. This could be pushed to maybe 7 or 8, or something like that. Because let's say I don't think Kevin Durant would have signed an extension even without the Draymond thing. I think because Kevin Durant has too much of an ego, right? Like he's gonna be with like, all right, I play with the big three for a while now. Like I want to kind of go out and do my own thing, kind of like a LeBron-esque kind of situation with Miami, right? So I think Kevin Durant probably would have left after ring number 3, maybe.
For sure.
But like after that, like Jordan Poole would have helped elevate that team to get a few more rings, along with maybe if Klay Thompson's injury never happened. I think that's the biggest thing too, right?
Yeah,
like that shifted that organization a little bit more than it probably anyone ever anticipated. So if Klay Thompson's injury never happened, for sure, probably another 7 or 8 ring.
That's a good point, J Money. It's like Klay, they waited for Klay. They were loyal to Klay, to really for him to kind of get back up to speed. And I respect that. But Jordan Poole, coming off the bench, him as a backup point guard, 6-man, but it's just been like just a nightmare. So yeah, it's a lot going on there, but at least be more. They did win some championships. Yeah, those who might have mishandled some situations, but for the most part, they got it done, man. And that's something. That is really, really something. And it's I'm not even sad to see come to an end because Steph and them guys, man, they're exciting to watch, but I'm just ready to just pass the torch. Get these guys out of here.
That's that Cleveland coming out there now. He's
right.
He's still angry.
We ain't forgot.
All right. So everything else that happened at trade deadline, we learned that the Washington Wizards may have the second best GM in the league. Okay. This man is playing 3D chess. Like he's playing the shell game, he's moving pieces around. And next thing we know, he has Trae Young and Anthony Davis not even going to play this year. So they're still going to be a lottery team. So they're going to have a lottery pick, a ton of draft capital going into next year with a young, talented team because Alex Sarr is showing that he can ball. Like he can ball. Listen, the Wizards are going to be fun next year, which is something that I never thought I would be saying, but they are going to be fun next year.
Right. And to your point, be more. I'm right here. So I'm gonna catch some games. I gotta see Gold James when he come through now. I gotta see that. But you're right, man. He did an excellent job, man, just with building. I know AD comes with AD. Did y'all see the parody or like the meme of him getting hurt at the press conference? AD. I said, man, technology, boy, it's tough. This AI, it'll make you think you doing something. It's just blows your mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, right. But to your point, man, they're really doing a good job building for the future, keeping your assets, staying competitive, and there'll be something. I wish that, as we were talking about KD, I wish he would have came home before he decided to go to Houston, come back to the DMV, and kind of bring in your hometown to the promised land. But I don't know, maybe that ship will never happen, but it would have been nice to see.
Right. Man, let's see. One second, I want to bring up the trades. Let's see. Yeah, the Wizards GM was kind of the big winner. Zubac.
That shook me.
Pacers, right? Yeah.
What are the Clippers like? What are the Clippers doing? So they got rid of James, they got rid of Harden, Zubac, and Kawhi. Like Zubac has proven, Zubac has been even a solid player for them. Again, borderline all-star for them.
Yeah.
And so is this the end? Like, is Kawhi are they gonna do something with Kawhi in the offseason? Because there is nothing left. And the crazy thing is this Clippers team had turned it around. They were terrible at the beginning of the year, and then they turned around. They were being competitive now. So it's like, and now, so I think reporting has come out that the Clippers front office told James Harden, we're not going to pay you. And we know James Harden is about his money. They were 2 weeks away from the fat suit. So they didn't want to go through that. So they got him out of there. But that was the reason why they got rid of him. Because they were like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen in the next few years. So we're not going to extend you. So James Harden was like, well, man, I'm going to put on a fat suit. So you know how this goes. And so it looks like now they're just kind of blowing things up. I mean, at least right now. Yeah.
So I have a question then. With that being said, right? And do you think the Clippers were also not going to pay him and just be like, hey, we know it's been like rough here in LA, right? We went on a game-winning streak. We're not getting any better anytime soon. To help your career too, we'll ship you to a more competitive team because that's what you want. And their market is small, which means they'll probably pay you more too. Go to Cleveland. Do you think it was also that type of conversation as well?
So it's possible, but I think there had to be a conversation about will they extend him? Because I think he's got a player option either this year or next year. So I think that had to kind of be a discussion like, okay, will you extend me? Because listen, Harden is always about his money. Like winning is cool, but every time it comes up for his extension, this is where all these trades come in. He's about his money. That's the bottom line. He wants his money. And I would think that would be the only way that his agent and Cleveland would have agreed to them, that there is some kind of agreement that we're going to extend you, and we'll kind of figure out the money with the cap. That's fair.
I'm with you on that, but it's business. In the end, it's business. I don't think these players owe these owners anything. You know what I mean? So it's funny how, an owner can just cut you while they're on their jet playing golf, and not think twice. It's funny how an owner they'll owe you a bonus and they'll cut you before they owe you the bonus. It gets real cutthroat. Go back to when we were talking about Jeannie Buss and LeBron and Bronny, and all of that. Like, sure, it's a mutual thing. I understand you may have done this, but we both are eating from this situation. So when it just becomes business, it becomes business. So I'm not mad at that, but it bodes well for it heats up, because we still don't know. Like, funny, we were talking about OKC so much, and now not so much. You know what I mean? OKC, while they're still playing well, we feel like there's some threats out there. And I love, to your point, that Zubac trade, because Halliburton will be back next year. And that Indiana squad is formidable. So I really like that, man. Good point.
For sure. Yeah. So the Celtics got more dangerous. They added Vucevic, and that is a big piece. That's a big piece for them. So, look, it's always middle finger to Joe Mazzulla. Still, forever. Forever. It's always going to be. Listen, I don't care. After what I saw last year's playoffs, it's always up with me and him.
No Joe Mazzulla slander will be tolerated anymore on this podcast.
It's always up when it comes to him. But this is a really good pickup. I'm sad to see Anthony go. I'm really sad to see him go. But I get it, because he's going to be up for an extension next year. So I get it. But with this trade, the Bulls don't have anyone over 6'6" on their roster. I don't understand what's that. I'm sorry, 6'7", because Josh Giddey's 6'7". Yeah. They don't have anybody over 6'7" on their roster. That's crazy. I don't know what they're doing. They've got a ton of picks now, but I don't know what the Bulls are doing.
And they traded Ayo too, right? The guard.
Ayo went to Minnesota, I think.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like they're probably gonna tank. After I think they're realizing, right? They got a whole bunch of first round draft picks, so they probably might draft a big man next year. Yeah. And there's a lot of like they're gonna need about 4 of them. I feel like this is going to be a great opportunity. I mean, they've been in the rebuilding phase for like 4 years with 16 different players from different.
Pretty much since Derrick Rose left.
Yeah, so like they got to make the next 2 to 3 draft years count. Like after that, you blow up the entire franchise. But I'm excited to where these tanking teams are going to do next year, because B More, you have not been wrong about saying specific teams are going to be fun to watch for the following season. You said about the Hornets this year, and look at where we're at. They got a 7-game win streak.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Yo, they won tonight. Beat Houston by 10. Yo, I'm telling you, they listen. Not only now, not only they fun to watch, but they actually winning. So speaking of the Hornets, they got Mike Conley and Kobe White from the Bulls. Well, Mike Conley from Minnesota, Kobe White from the Bulls. I think that's a good pickup. Like I was talking in group chat, Conley's going to be the adult, which is something definitely needs. They need an adult. They've got an adult. Maybe keep Miles Bridges from making another mixtape. Maybe Conley might say, "Hey, we don't need a mixtape right now. We need you to focus on defense.
There's who
you can make a mixtape over the summer. So they get an adult in the locker room who's been around, who knows it. And Kobe White is a great guard to come off the bench to back up. Great, I've been a fan of Colin Sexton like this season. He's played good minutes. I like to change the pace between him and Melo, but I definitely like Kobe better. I think definitely like Kobe better in that position.
I'm with you on that. I think Kobe is better than Colin. I think I love Colin, baby bull, former Cav. I like him, but I think Kobe is just a pro. He's refined. He can defend. He can shoot. He really gets to it. And before I forget, going back to that Boston squad, them bringing in Vucevic definitely let you know Brad Stevens got it right, because they brought in Al Horford. You try to kick the tires on him to see what he had left, and and I get it, but Al's had a good career, but Vucevic right now is going to give you what Al can't give you. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good pick. And I think, to your point, they'll stay competitive until JT returns next year. Yeah. And I expect them to kind of compete, because they got a melting pot full of just different talent. And I don't expect them to beat the top teams in the East, but they'll be competitive. But I love what Brad Stevens has done for next season.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think as far as when we're looking at what are teams doing, I feel like Minnesota is still in this weird limbo. They made some moves, but I don't think it got them anywhere. Now, the rumor was they made all those moves because they thought they were going to land Giannis, so they made some moves because they could have had Kobe White, and they're like, nah, we kind of keep this cap space open just in case. And I think that's going to come and bite them. I think it's going to come bite them in the ass. I really do. But yes, I think Minnesota made a lot of moves, but I don't feel any better or worse about them right now.
I think if you look at the Wolves, where are they struggling right now? That's my question, right? I feel like they're a well-balanced team. When I saw them play the Bucks, granted the Bucks suck, but I don't feel like they had a lot of weaknesses. Everyone was able to facilitate with the ball. I think the only area where they lacked was the point guard position. They needed someone to kind of help change the pace behind Ant and Julius Randle, right? Dante DiVincenzo, he's also a great, a good point guard, but he's a better two guard. Right. And I think getting them to these two extra point guards helps move everyone to their strengths to where they can be a much better team. So I think I feel like they made it. They did the right move. They made the right choices. They didn't shake up their team too much. I feel like they played it smart. I think we'll see the true result of this come playoff time.
And they brought in who all did they bring in?
They
go ahead.
I know Dillingham got traded, but who they acquired?
So let me go look at this because I just pulled it up on my phone.
Okay.
Let me see. Yep. Ayo Damunsu from Chicago was definitely one of them for sure.
And Julian Phillips, who I'm not familiar with, but I know about Ayo. Ayo's a hooper.
Yeah.
And to your point, J Money, I feel like I partially agree, because I feel like when you watch Minnesota, it's just ball watching. Swing at the Ant, let's see what he does. And then it's kind of like, that's it. When Ant's out the game, it's kind of like, now you're just going through the motions. Julius Randle is a capable scorer, but you don't want to really call up a play for him. You know what I mean? If he's forced to shoot, okay, go ahead and shoot. You know what I mean? The end of the shot clock. But I'm not really calling a play for him. And, them getting Dillingham out of there, he has a superb handle, but the efficiency wasn't there. And I know Ayo will be more consistent, but we haven't seen him necessarily on a playoff stage and just do his thing.
Right.
We don't know. You know what I mean? I just So I don't know that he's that final piece that they needed. I still don't expect them to beat the top teams in the West. I think they needed to make a better splash. And Minnesota, I think they're still not it. I think they're still maybe 1 or 2 places away. I love getting Conley out of there because he's an aging point guard. Love him beat more. He's a Buckeye, Ohio State, but that time is gone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I just think DiVincenzo is a good combo guard, but they just need a little more pieces to get there because Ant-Man just can't do it all on his own.
Yeah. So with that trade, it was just Musa was the biggest one, but I also forgot they got Nashon Highland behind him too, who can also facilitate the ball as well. So
yeah, I remember him.
I mean, Bones Highland has been there for I think almost a full year now with Minnesota. But he's like down at the bottom. He's a hooper, not a NBA ball player.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. But like I like Bones Highland as just a player in general, but I don't necessarily want him on my team. Like you saw what he did. You saw what he did in the Clippers. He hasn't really done anything, with Minnesota. Like he can give you some minutes. I mean, I think he's probably a notch below your boy Dennis Schrader. So it's I don't know.
Yeah. I'm my brother. I'm with you on that. I think Bones should be on one of them like Ball is Life playing Uncle Scoob and Lamont Peterson. Them guys are dogs, you know what I'm saying? But I think his game caters to that. And NBA is just not that. It's just not equating to his talent. And I feel like, he ain't it. He ain't it. No, you just know when you know. Like what they say on White Man Can't Jump. He don't hear Jimmy. He don't hear Jimmy.
All right, so we're gonna move on. Got some basketball trivia this week. We'll see how well test y'all ball knowledge. So this is the top 5 all-time leading playoff scorers, points per game, not total points. Points per game, and that's important. Okay. So as we think about this. So let's see if you guys get the top 5. I am going to flip a virtual coin and Kev from Ohio. First guess. Top 5 all-time playoff scorers.
Okay. Do I have to go like PG down, or can I just name someone that's in that?
People. Yep.
LeBron James.
He is not in the top 5 points per game.
Wow.
He is not.
I'm surprised, my brother.
I was surprised too. I was surprised. He's very close. But because of where the Lakers are and how he's playing, I don't think he's going to get there, but he's very close.
Got you.
All right, J Money.
Is this active players right now? Because you said all time.
Period.
All time. Oh.
So I'll give you. I'll kind of set it up.
Okay.
All these players except one are within our lifetime, so you don't have to necessarily go too far back. All right.
Okay.
So like Kobe.
Yeah, I think Kobe on there. No, Kobe.
Really?
That's why I picked points per game and not all time, just points, because this would be tough.
Oh my god!
Family Feud noise. All right, Kev, let's go.
Shaquille O'Neal.
How are y'all leaving out the most obvious?
MJ.
Yes, he's number one with 33.4 points per game.
Okay. Okay, we rolling out J Money.
All right, there we go.
So the next 4, you have one old timer before our time.
Okay.
2 of them are currently playing, and the other one is, of course, within our lifetime.
Oof.
Kevin Durant.
Yes, he's number 4 with 29.3.
Okay.
I think these last few will be kind of tough.
Okay.
They shouldn't be, but they're all right.
So you J Money. I think I got one.
Melo?
No.
Oh.
Give me Steph Curry. Oh no!
I knew Steph Curry wasn't going to be it. Steph Curry, I think, only averages about like 21 or 22 in the playoffs.
He's actually like number 10, I think, if I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Or 25 in the playoffs. He averages like 25 in the playoffs.
And you said 2 are still active. So when I name KD,
well,
is
now one is still active. Now you have one left because Durant was one of the 2. Yes. So one of the 3 left is active. One is an old timer, and the other is in our lifetime.
James Harden.
I want to say between Jason Tatum.
No, you get one. You get one.
Oh,
You get one in this go round.
okay. Jason Tatum.
No. Wow.
Luca.
Yes.
Oh,
Luka is number 2.
yeah.
30.9 points per game.
Yeah.
All right.
Money.
So you've
I'm
got
2
so
for
now
2.
you've got all
Or 2
the
for
you
3.
got all the current players. So now we're missing number 3 and number 5. So the one in our lifetime, I would say think 1990s forward.
Oh,
And the old timer is pre-1980.
Charles Barkley.
No. The old
You said
timer is tough.
You said
Yeah.
90s, right?
I said 90s on forward. I can't.
90s
I don't
on
want to
forward.
get too particular in the 90s because then you're going to really be able to easily identify.
Did you get it?
Oh, my next guess is going to be Dwight Howard, but never mind.
No.
Because I'm a
Okay.
95 baby, so I don't know.
So I'll say this: both of these players are shooting guards.
Oh,
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard.
He's a small forward.
a forward.
No.
He's
Small
forward.
four. You did say 2 guard. Oh, got me messed up. Be more.
hold
You said
on.
90s forward.
Yeah, I said 90s forward. I don't want to get too particular in the 90s because then it's going to give you too much. You'll be able to get it quickly.
Man, it's a good question, man.
I can't believe you guys are think about scoring guards just
AI?
in the mid to late 90s,
Oh,
early
okay,
2000s. A scoring guard.
Did you hear me say AI?
Yes, Allen Iverson. He's
Iverson.
number 3,
yes.
29.7.
Good.
Now-
And the last one is still a 2 guard.
He's still a 2 guard. He's an old timer, but I'll give you a hint. He's an old timer, but we see him every time we watch an NBA game.
Reggie Miller.
Ooh,
No.
good.
Oh,
Oh, that would have been my guess too.
It's a good guess, but no.
We see him on TV. Dwayne Wade. No. You said 80s. Okay.
Well, no, he was before 80s. He's like 70s.
You said 70s. Okay.
But you see him every time, no matter what network. You see
Give me
him.
the Jet Smith.
No.
Dang it.
All right. I'm gonna give it to y'all.
No. Because
Okay.
if you tell me, I'm gonna crash out. No.
All right.
no.
All right. Each of y'all get one more guess.
But he's a 2 guard.
Yeah.
And we see him a lot.
Yep, we see him on every time you watch an NBA game. You see him at least once every time you watch an NBA game.
J Money, who we talking about?
I am very disappointed in you
man.
guys.
Oh, I don't. Oh man.
And he's a
Every
2
time-
guard, and we see him. But
All right,
and he's
each other
from the
one more guess.
90s.
Come on, we can't do this all night.
I know, man. I'm tapping out, J Money.
Ernie Johnson. Just
Lord. No.
Wait.
Jerry West. Because Jerry West is the logo.
Oh.
He passed
I
away,
never
right?
would.
R.I.P.
Yep.
to Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
All right.
I gotta get
I
y'all
wouldn't have got that
knowledge.
one.
I didn't do too bad. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that it took y'all like 3 guesses to say Michael Jordan is wild.
I know,
Michael Jordan
man.
is on every list. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He's on every
know.
list.
I
I'm not saying he's number
know.
1, but he is on every list.
Oh man, that's a good question. I love that one, B-Mar. That's a good one, man.
All right. All right. So before we head up to the final thoughts, this is Super Bowl week. It doesn't really seem like that because the NBA's trade deadline took up all the oxygen and all the sports network, but it is Super Bowl week. So to start with J Money, who you got?
I got Seattle all the way. Seattle's offense is so good. I love a good redemption story from Sam Darnold.
I got you.
From the South Carolina Panthers to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm fast forwarding. I'm missing a lot. To now a Super Bowl contending team, playing team. I love a good redemption story. And the Seahawks defense is phenomenal. I think they're tough. They're gonna get hard. It's gonna be tough to throw in the passing game for the Patriots because the Patriots can't move the ball well. If Stephon Diggs isn't getting the ball, and if Drake May can't move the ball, and the Patriots also don't run the ball well. But their defense is also tough too. So give me Seattle all day, every day.
Gotcha. Patriots, be more.
Wow.
Mike Vrabel was a Buckeye.
Wow.
Trayvon Henderson, Buckeye. You know, I think I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist at time, and I feel like that Patriots teams is tough to beat in the moment. I feel like Seattle does come in and they're the better team, I think, kind of on paper per se. But I just think that Patriot team, they just got a lot of grit. I feel like I just, for whatever reason, the better in me says the Patriots in a close game. I bet you Diggs does something special. He's gonna bring out Cardi B at the halftime. Watch the Patriots.
All right. So look, I ain't even gonna hold you. My second home that I consider like, you know, a tie between Baltimore and this other city. I count them as my second home. It's Seattle, baby.
Yeah.
That's my second home.
Yeah.
Listen, a Buckeye, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
That's my vote for MVP because I think Sam Darnold's going to feed him and feed him and feed him, and he going to finish with like 12 receptions, a $150 and a tutty. Like he's that's because look, man, what they're not going to do is get to the 3-yard line and not give the ball to Kenneth Walker the second. That's what they're not going to do. That's what they're not going to do. So I think, I think it should be a good Super Bowl. But what I fear is that Seattle's defense is really good, and they're gonna make this a blowout in the first quarter because Drake May hasn't played a defense like this. He just hasn't. He hasn't played a defense like this, and they are gonna make it ugly fast. And if the Patriots fall behind, I don't trust Drake May to kind of bring them back. So yeah. So I'm going with Seattle, man. That's
uncle and nephew. Y'all got it wrong. Y'all got it wrong, fellas.
But we will see. We will come back and we will own our picks on our next show. Yes, all right. So with that said, we're gonna jump off the final thoughts. I'm gonna have J Money kick off his final thoughts, and then we'll go to Kev from Ohio.
Okay. All right, fellas. Buckle up. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's gonna be real quick, man. Just a couple ranting points. I'm glad the Warriors traded for Kristaps Porzingis, but I am so pissed that we kept Brendan Podziemski. Because what the actual F are we doing? He can't do anything. He sucks, man. He is like, I see him touch the ball. I see him try to do something, try to make himself special. Bro, you're a role player. You are never going to get the keys to the franchise. Steph Curry is looking at him and probably be like, I'm going to play as long as I possibly can until we actually get someone that can learn how to shoot on a consistent basis and play great team ball. Because my enforcer knocked the Sonic coins out of Jordan Poole a few years ago. And you know what? We're stuck with the curly hair. We're stuck with freaking Jack Harlow. That's who we're stuck with right now. I'm so pissed about it. He is not good. Now, on the next point, I'm annoyed with the Giannis saga. Yeah. He played in our face. I literally had high hopes for the trade deadline today. I thought we were going to get like a major blockbuster trade. I felt like the trade deadline this year was a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, Anthony Davis got traded to the Wizards. Okay. I shrugged and went on about my day. And then I'm like refreshing my phone, looking at Shams. Giannis made Shams look like a fraud. Like, Shams is also reporting like Giannis is doing this. The Bucks are saying they're going to put Giannis on the trading block. Giannis asked for a trade. Now, the trade didn't happen. Giannis is clowning Shams, who is, we all know, is also a really reliable insider. But now, like, what are we doing? I feel like he set the Bucks up for failure. But on the flip side of it, too, it showed that player empowerment is a real thing. if you are the face of the franchise, you get to do whatever you want, and the franchise will do your bidding by any means necessary. So, I mean, he got rid of Adrian Griffin, and now look, we're stuck with Doc Rivers. But those are my final thoughts. Very underwhelming trade deadline. I hate pods. Giannis played in our face. Get him out of there, okay?
All right, Kev, what you got?
Be more. He said Jack Harlow. Wow, that's something. But honestly, that's passion right there, young fella. I'm with you. But kudos to Shakur Stevenson. Big win. He dominated Teofimo Lopez. Fight was at 140 pounds. Shakur made his debut and was outstanding. I think it's so rare that you see just a true boxing purist at his best. He's backed by Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. I don't know what trio it gets even better. You can sit down and watch a fight with Terrence Crawford, getting that type of insight, and then start text messaging with Andre Ward, and then later on you FaceTime with Floyd. You're gonna be prepared, So I just said it to say kudos to Shakur, man, just for delivering a big fight, and I look forward to seeing what he does next. I think there's a lot of great matchups for him, ranging from Oshaki Foster to Devin Haney, and I don't know what's up with Tank Davis. Hopefully he gets it together because that would be a marquee fight. Switching gears on that, kudos to the Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders. We love it. We love it in Cleveland. Congratulations to you. So yeah, just in general, I think sporting world, this trade deadline did shake up some things. I wish Ja Morant would have got moved. A lot of other pieces, like to your point, Giannis would have got moved, and it might have been the cherry on top. But it's exciting, fellas. I think this is an exciting Super Bowl. That Pro Bowl flag football game, I don't know. They might as well let us play. Pro Bowl, they don't know what to do. They might also let us play moving forward. But it's gonna be something to see. So I'm excited.
All right. So my final thoughts. My album of the year, who I thought was going to be the Clips, but they didn't win. But what they did do, they did win their first Grammy for Best Rap Performance for Chains and Whips. And I thought that was such a big thing for the brothers Thornton to finally get that mainstream win. And like we can have a mixed opinion about what the Grammys mean and what they are or whatever, but I think no matter what these artists say, they do want that recognition. It might not be like their end all be all, but they still kind of want that. And I want to flip it up further, I guess, to the east from the 757 to the 804. Mad Skills, who, if anyone remembers from the 90s and his debut album From Where, great rapper, superb MC. He had a website back in the day when I was 18 called Danger Zone, and I would get on there and find all this information in the early aughts of the internet, where it was normal or kind of normal, not like what we see now. And, he was one of those first online rappers. He would interact with us and he would do all these different things. We would hear the mixtapes first and all these things. And the fact that at this point in his career, he pivoted and he made a spoken word album and he brought home his first Grammy. And so like his story for me is a story of perseverance. He tried one thing. He had some success. It didn't quite work out exactly the way he probably envisioned it. But he never stopped trying. He went to writing for other rappers. He did ghostwriting for Diddy. He still put out albums. He still wrote R&B songs. And he was able to still provide for himself and his family and still be creative. And then he found another lane and he got a Grammy. Not in his original art form, but similar with spoken word. So for me, the Skills, aka Mad Skills story, is probably one of the biggest takeaways from the Grammys. Because again, if you put hard work, dedication, and perseverance into your dreams, eventually things will happen. Things don't happen overnight, and he is a testament to that. So that's my final thoughts.
I love it.
Well said.
All right. So with that said, y'all, we are out. This trade deadline special. It's B More, J Money, Kev From Ohio, man. Peace.